All right, welcome to another edition of The Insiders. I'm Todd Probasco, mortgage banker at Lakeside Bank here in Chicago. And with me today, I got a longtime friend, special guest. We have Jayme Johnston from Girl in the Park restaurant in Orland Park, Illinois. Jayme, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today, Todd?
Doing great, doing great. So glad you're here. And this is going to be a great story and a great interview for the people who are listening.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Kind of weird, but Jayme and I went to the same high school. We're many years apart. I graduated way before she went there. So, but we kind of had that bond. And Jayme and her family opened a really cool restaurant. How long ago did you guys open it?
It'll be 9 years in December that we're open.
Oh my God. Good Lord. It feels like yesterday you opened.
I know, it really does. It goes in like a blink of an eye.
I know. We're going to talk about that, but just as we get started with the listeners, super cool restaurant, and the bar and her, I guess, mixologist, because I mean, they do an amazing job, was always like a wow to me. So I kind of became a regular there for a while. I used to love sitting there. So, but anyway, Jayme's going to tell us a story of how this all came about, because for those of you who are listening, I used to own a mortgage company. When you go out on your own and start a business, it sounds great and exciting to everybody. But Jayme, let's start with the scary part of leaving, not having a 9-to-5 job with a salary and benefits. And all of a sudden, boom, here you are in the world. And it's, I always use that line, you eat what you hunt, right? And no pun intended, but you live and die by your business. So let's talk about what you did before this and how you got into owning your own business, and we'll kind of go from there. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds great. I was in telecommunication sales, so I learned a lot about recruitment, interviewing and whatnot, and what I didn't like, actually, because I couldn't really control my product that I was giving to my customers. So I kind of got bored with that, and it just kind of fell in my lap. And, just stopped by the old, what was Rockwell's before we were Girl in the Park, and had a chat with a couple people. And I just decided, like, I think it's time for a change. And I ended up buying the restaurant a couple months later because they were going to close. And it was such a whirlwind, just because, you do so much preparing menu wise, just people, and talking to the community and just getting your name out there. And it really just kind of went by storm. Everybody just started beating down the door as soon as we opened, because I think we had something to offer that a lot of places in Orland Park don't. We're not a corporate restaurant. We're a family-owned restaurant. We care about our ingredients. We care about our people. We know our people when they come in. It's a really good atmosphere. It really is. And it just kind of took off. Just year by year, we just kept growing and growing and growing. And now here we are almost 9 years later.
Unbelievable. So I remember the former establishment, and you lived in the area like I did, and you saw this opportunity, right? Was you and your family any background in the restaurant business?
Well, I went to culinary school, so I have a culinary degree. I'm technically a chef by trade, but I also went to business school as well. So that's kind of what I went to school for. That was my background. That's what I eventually wanted to do in life, was to have my own place. I didn't want to work hard for other people my whole life. I wanted to work hard for myself, my family, and be able to provide my family with a nice living and essentially retire my parents.
That's amazing. And I know I've met your dad at the restaurant, so.
Yeah, they're semi-retired. They come in the restaurant, it does them good to get around and talk to people and stuff. And my dad's great at, making sure to represent the brand properly and just talking to people. He's very outgoing, and I think that's where I get it from a little bit.
Yeah, I remember even during COVID, he would do the out in the parking lot deliveries when we'd all order from you, because 2 reasons. We wanted to support you during a tough time, but you got great food. And I remember your dad be like, Todd, stay in the car. I got you covered. I'll bring it out. So but it was
Yeah,
cool. So,
that was interesting. COVID was very interesting.
oh my gosh.
We had so much support, though. I mean, there was a
Mhm.
McDonald's in the parking lot across the way, and it ended up closing down after COVID, and we stayed open. So if
Yeah,
that tells
I
you,
remember.
our customer base just really supported us. Like, I mean, it brought me to tears one day when I saw the line out the parking lot, like two different ways, and everyone just so understanding. And they're like, "Nope, just take your time. We want to get out of the house. It's no big deal."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, COVID was a struggle, but we persevered through it and just got stronger from learning what we did.
Yeah. And I'm so glad to hear that. So let's talk about, I know some of the things, but I want everybody to hear it from you. Girl in the Park is, you first said it's not a corporate restaurant. It's not. But your menu is different. It's a little different than most places. Let's talk about the type of food you serve and where the food comes from, because I know that's part of your story. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the menu, the ingredients, and where that all came about. I know that's always changing, but kind of I know you have a model, and why don't you share that with everybody?
Yeah, so what we like to do is not exactly farm to table, but like our whatever we can get from our farm. We try to make sure that all the meats are provided by, I'll shout out Slagle Farms. They're about an hour and a half south in Fairbury, Illinois. They provide all of our meat for us: chicken, pork, steak, um, you name it. Our burgers are freshly from them. They're never frozen. It's a quad blend, so that's special only for us. When we're getting our ingredients, we want to make sure they're top quality ingredients. Like, we don't use iodized salt, we use sea salt. It's healthier for you. You can digest it better. As well as, our fish items, we want to make sure they're wild caught. And if, they're not, then sustainably farm raised. But my menu is vast. It is a big menu. A lot of people get a little intimidated by it when they first see it, just because it's pretty huge. But we did it that way to make sure that there was something for everyone in the family that they like, when they come to visit, or they come back multiple times a week and have different meals. But we do American flair. I like to put a couple different twists on it, depending on entrees and seasonal items and that. We usually change up the menu bi-yearly, and same thing with our cocktail menu. We like to keep it fresh, and we want to make sure we're keeping up with the trends as well, and making
Yeah.
sure that we're just, making everyone happy, even though that's a hard job to do.
The menu's amazing. The quality is unbelievable. The flavor is excellent. And that's a great bridge into the bar, which I absolutely love at your place. I'm going to talk about your old fashioned, which is and I've sent a ton of people over to your place to try it. So back when Jayme started, I'd come in and hang out. I brought clients there, and it's a really cool place. And you had a bartender, I can't remember his name. And he's like, Todd, you drink beer all the time. Do you like whiskey? And I'm like, yeah, I don't drink it that often, but I do. And he goes, do you like old fashions? And I'm like, yeah, I do. He goes, let me make you an old fashioned here at Girl in the Park. And I'm like, I had no idea what I was walking into. And next thing I know, he's getting the glass out, he's mixing it up, and then he brings this box over and he puts the drink in the box. He starts something on fire. It all starts, I see this big cloud, and then he's got this flamethrower kind of thing going. Then there's this cloud. He takes it out of the box, and boom, here, try the old fashioned.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
our
was like,
smoked old fashioned. That one's pretty popular.
my God, I took a drink of that. I'm like, okay, I don't know if I need this as a habit, but this thing's amazing. So, yeah, so let's talk about your bar. And you're not your typical shot and beer kind of thing. You
No.
guys actually make the extra effort to make a quality cocktail. Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, so the ingredients that go into our cocktails are definitely above par. We don't have any really well vodkas or, rums or anything like that. Everything is mid-range to above. We make all our simple syrups in-house. All of our juices are fresh, and we really take the time when we plan a menu to plan a menu. We want to make sure that it's going to hit everybody's taste buds. If somebody has a more tart palate or a sour palate, or somebody wants something sweet, we want to make sure we hit all those boxes. But also sticking to our guns and making sure we have a strong bourbon game going on. We usually have 2 to 3 old fashions on the menu at all times, but we get some oldie but goodies in there. A lot of times customers come in, they're like, hey, can you make this still? And usually we definitely can, depending on if we have the ingredients in-house still. But yeah, we like to make sure that everything is complete quality. I mean, we want to make sure that our customers aren't waking up the next morning being like, oh gosh, what did I have? I don't feel good, or,
No,
they
don't need
need to
that.
drink a gallon of water before they go to bed. We want to make sure that we're giving them quality ingredients to try and to taste. And it just, like you said, it goes a long way, those special touches.
Does. And it's something you remember, and I'm sure you hear it from everybody. They refer people and have them come in. So
Yeah, a lot of people do come in or they'll see that smoke box walking around the restaurant and they're like, what's that? What's that? Something's on fire.
right. How does
We're
that
like,
work?
no, we're just smoking drinks.
Right, exactly. All right, so just a little recap. We go farm to table. We've got an extensive menu, great flavors, great ingredients. We've got a really cool bar that goes to the next level of making cocktails. What are your plans today and tomorrow for the restaurant? What do like in my business on the mortgage side, we always got to look a couple years out, even though things change every day. Where do you see you in the restaurant in the next year or two? What do you got planned?
So we're always seasonal. So it just depends menu wise. Like I said, we like to come out with new stuff and keep up with the trends. But we like to just keep up what we have. We about the third year in, we ended up expanding. So we do have a party facility next door to us. And right now I think we've grown to the point where we're comfortable in our space. But it's always just keeping everything, nice and tight, making sure we keep, painting and just like different items on the menu. And it just really depends on what's going on, that season, keeping up with the Joneses essentially.
Yeah, I mean, you're a place where you can come get a table, have dinner, like date night. You're a place where you can come watch a game and have something cool to eat and drink. You're located in the heart of Orland Park, Illinois, for those of you listening who don't know where that is, southwest suburb of Chicago. It's a really cool place, and I strongly suggest if you're in the area or you want to take a ride and check something out, you definitely should check out Grill in the Park in Orland Park. What are the current hours now, or during the week? What are your hours?
We're closed on Monday, and every week we're closed on Monday, but we're open Tuesday to Sunday. Our kitchen hours Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday are open till 8 p.m. And then our kitchen hours on Friday, Saturday is 9:30. But the bar stays open later. So it just really depends on who's hanging around and what we got going on. If we have bingo or live music, if people are coming in and staying and having a good time, we'll keep it open. But if everybody's going home early for the night, then we'll close it up. So it just really depends on the flow of the crowd.
Yeah, there's been great live music I've seen in there also. So
thank you.
Are you open for lunch during the week?
Yep, we open at 11 a.m. every day.
Love it. Love it. All right, I'm going to put a bow around this. Jayme, you're an amazing person. You've got an amazing business, and I want to give you a high five and congratulations on your success. Is there anything you want to add or share with everybody before we close this out?
I would just like to say thank you to all our customers and thank you for having me on your podcast. Every little bit of marketing always helps, bring in more customers and new customers. And we just absolutely love seeing new faces here. So thank you so much, Todd. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. And it's important to help the small businesses survive. It's a tough world out there, and you've done an amazing job, and hats off to you. And I wish you nothing but the best of success in the years to come. And I'm sure I'll see you soon for a smoked old fashioned.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it. And yes, come in anytime. You're always welcome.
Love it. Have a great day, and thanks for being on the show.
You too. Thank you.
Right, bye.
Bye.